It's midnight right now. It's the 3rd of December, and it's a work night, but I have to do this. I have to finish my spreadsheet. I like to do this every month. I'm not really big on keeping track of this month I can spend this much money on food, this much money, because really by this point I can do it automatically. I know when I'm spending too much. I know when I'm getting a little crazy with the food or a little bit crazy with the entertainment. So I don't really need this stuff, but the reason why I write everything out and put it in percentages and dollar amounts is so that when I talk to other people I have exact amounts to explain to them. So I don't just say, oh, I save money every month. I can say exactly how much money I save every month. And when people talk to me about my rental property, I can say exactly how much money I've made up to this point. So this month was not a very good month. It was, well, I don't want to say it wasn't a very good month because it's not bad, but it was one of my worst months. So, and I'll show you this spreadsheet later, and you can play with it later if you want. I'll put a link in the description of the video probably. So I have my salary, I have my passive income, I have all my expenses that were from the bank account, all my expenses that were put on my credit card, and I don't get too detailed. I just break it down into things like food, what was groceries, what was gas, things for my car, were there any write-offs, anything that was related to real estate. I just try to keep it simple. There's actually not a lot of different kinds of things that are on here because I'm not going a lot of places or buying a lot of things. So it's either food, it's tea, something for my car. This month I started flying again, so I took a big hit because of the expenses for flying. But my gross income was $4,400. That's with work and passive income. Liabilities, $1,290. Living expenses, $2,100. So my total income was $1,025 this month, from a total income of $4,449. I write down how much cash I have, the equity in my house that I rent out. I keep track of the return on my investment of my house. I use some rules of thumb from the book The Richest Man in Babylon. Don't use more than 80% of your, no, that's wrong, I think it's 70%. Save at least 10% of all money that you make. Don't ever have more than 20% of the money going towards your debt that you owe. And don't spend more than 70% of your income on living expenses. Those are the rules that I go by from the book The Richest Man in Babylon. But of course I always save a lot more than that, and I have less than that owed in debt, and I spend a lot less than that, 70% on my living expenses. So this little report that I was doing was for the month of November. In November I saved 23% of my income. October was 46.3%, September 21.3%, August 47.9%, July was 58.6%. That's like, remember one of the other videos I said I saved 60% of my income. It was July I saved 58.6% of my income. June I saved 50.8%. In May I saved 32.9%. So far, up to this point in this year, I've saved, well, you know what, it's only from May. From May to November, I've saved 280% of a normal month's income. So that means I pretty much added another 2.8 months of work into my 12-month year. My house is doing pretty good. On cash flow, I only made 5.4% income. The house appreciated by 10%. I want to double check that. and then the principal pay down, the people who rent the house paying down my principal that I owe on it. It also increased my return on investment by 3.6%. So if this is correct, so far this year I've made a return on my investment of 19.6% with my house in Texas. So it's very, very good. That's good news. And I know the reason why I spent so much money this month on my living expenses is because I was flying a lot more. I spent almost $900 on flying, so it's expensive, but once I can get back into it, I can start to share the expenses with other people. So anyway, I really like to do this because it gets me reorganized for tomorrow. When I go back to work, I'll know how I did last month, and I know exactly what I'm doing and what I shouldn't be doing the following month. So tomorrow when I wake up, I know exactly how much I'm saving, exactly how much I'm spending. It's like a competition. It's like when you're with other people, you're going to spend more money when you're with other people. So watch out whenever you're with other people. I'm always on the lookout. It's easy to spend an extra 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks when you're with other people. So I'm always on the lookout for that. And, they're not going to stop you from spending money. So you're going to have to stop yourself. You have to be careful when you're around other people. And the reason I do this every month as well is because it lets me know that I'm still on track. I'm still doing very well. So I'll show you this spreadsheet. I've probably updated it by the time you see it, and I'll just show you what I look at every month. Okay, good night.